Oh, hello boys and girls. Didn't see you there. I know you told me they were there. Hello again. Alfie and I were just having a chat. And you know, Alfie is saying that he's going on a picnic tomorrow. I don't know what it's like there at the moment, but here it's pouring with rain. You can't go on a picnic. It's a very special picnic, but you get soaked. You're having it at home. You're zooming it. Oh, I see. So you've only got to find food for you. It works well that way. Nobody can pinch your favourite biscuits. I see, right. Okay, well, I don't know if it's going to work. So who's coming to your party or picnic? Oscar, yeah? And Charlie, they're his best friends. You're asking Ruben as well. You haven't been with him for a long time. You thought it's time to get to know new friends. I think that's a great idea. So have you got lots of food in? You got plenty for you, but not for the others because they're not coming. Okay. Well, I hope you have a nice time. But you know, boys and girls, parties are really good. And hopefully by Christmas time we can get together a bit. But, well, picnics are a thing of the past at the moment because all the nice weather is gone. But I want to tell you a story today about a picnic. Would you like to hear the story about the picnic? You got a question for me. I know what the question is. Does it have a happy ending? Alfie's always got to know if it has a happy ending. You don't like other stories? No. Okay, fine. Well, yes, it does have a happy ending, but it nearly ended up quite a disaster. But let's start at the beginning. Jesus, one day, he was really tired. He'd had a really busy day. You've had a lot of busy days, have you? Yeah, so have I. And I'm feeling a bit tired as well. But Jesus, well, there were so many crowds around, he just couldn't find time to rest. So do you know what he did? Sent everyone home. Not quite. He said to his friends, the disciples, let's get into one of the boats and let's go right over the other side of the sea. Let's get away from all these crowds. Now, the Sea of Galilee was a big lake, and it was a long way round. It's about the same as Swansea Bay. You know, if you stand on Mumbles and look across, that's about how big the Sea of Galilee was. And they got in the boat and off they went, and the people watched him go. And I think they were quite sad because they liked listening to Jesus. Well, Jesus and his friends, they went right across the sea and they landed on the other side. And you never guess what, Alfie? No, it didn't start to rain. It was a lovely day. All the people that they'd left on the other side of the lake had walked right round the shore and were waiting for them. And Jesus, he looked at them. And I think all his friends thought, oh, there goes our time of quiet. All the people are here again. And I think Peter and James and John and all the others were feeling a bit annoyed. But Jesus wasn't. You see, Jesus looked at them and he felt sorry for them because there were sick people there and there were people that really wanted to listen to him. And he talked to them and he healed some of the people who were ill. And they were there for quite a long time. And very slowly the sun started going down, and Jesus' friends noticed this and they said, you better send the people away. They've got a long walk to go home. They're going to be very hungry by now. And you know what Jesus said to them? He said, you give them something to eat. How many were there? Well, the Bible says there were 5,000 men and their wives and some children, so there could have been 15,000, 20,000 men and women and boys and girls there. That's a lot of people, isn't it? It's more than coming to your party, I should hope so. But Jesus looked at them, and the disciples looked at them, and they said, where are we going to find food enough for all of this? Jesus says, well, what food have you got? And all of Jesus' friends looked a little bit shameful. Their faces were a bit red because they hadn't brought any food at all. But one of them, Andrew, he'd been having a little chat around the people there. He was good at making friends, Andrew was. You like Andrew, don't you? Yeah. And he said, well, I found a little boy here and he's brought his lunch with him. Well, what's he got? He's only got some little fish and some bread rolls, 5 little bread rolls and 2 little fish. And that's not going to go very far. That's like trying to feed all of Swansea with a bag of crisps. It can't be done. Jesus said to the little boy, can I have your food? And the little boy looked at his food, he looked at Jesus, and he nodded. I don't know if he thought, that's the last I'm going to see of my food, but Jesus did something quite amazing. You know, the first thing he did, he said thank you to God. I'm sure he said thank you to the little boy as well. But he said thank you to God because God gives us all the food that we have. He makes the food grow. And then he broke up the bread and he broke up the fishes and gave it to his disciples and said, share that among the people. And by now all the people were sitting down on the grass. And the disciples went around and started handing out the bread and the fish. And they went back to Jesus and they said, what are we going to do for the rest of them? But Jesus still had more bread and fish. And however many times they went back, there was always bread and fish there. Until at last everybody didn't just have a little bit. They had as much as they could eat and they were saying, oh no, I'm full, I don't want any more, thank you. And Jesus fed thousands and thousands and thousands of people with just a little bit. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. And then all the people started going away because it was time to go home. And Jesus looked around and he went, we can't leave the place in a mess. That's good, yeah, you should always take home your rubbish, shouldn't you? Well, it wasn't rubbish, it was bits of bread and bits of fish. Jesus says, pick all these up. And they picked them up, and each one of Jesus' friends, and how many friends did he have? 12, that's right. Each one filled up a basket full of the bits left over. So they had more at the end than they had at the beginning. That's amazing, I know. Jesus could do amazing things. But you know, boys and girls, we can't do amazing things like that. Jesus could, because Christians believe he was God's son, and he was just extra special. We can't do what we call miracles like that. But we can do some things. You see, there was somebody else who did something quite amazing there. Who do you think it was? Who do you think? Andrew, for finding the little boy. Well, yeah, that was good. But there was one person who did something really, really brilliant. Think. Correct. Well done, Alfie. It was the little boy. Because if he hadn't given away his lunch, Jesus couldn't have shared it amongst all the people. And you know, that little boy gave all that he had. Maybe he thought he was giving away everything and not getting anything back. But he did get something back, didn't he? He had lunch, that's right. And so did everyone else. You know, boys and girls, there's something we can learn there, isn't there? That when we share things, we often get things back. We get people saying thank you to us. We get people being kind to us. And sharing is really, really good. In fact, Jesus said one day, do to others the things you'd like them to do to you. So Alfie, if you like people being kind to you, what do? Be kind to others. And there's a great lesson there. Help others, and you get helped as well. It's been great talking to you, boys and girls. Hope you have a great day, and I hope you have a nice picnic. You're looking forward to it. Say bye-bye to the boys and girls. Bye for now.